Hi friends, we are live. Rusty back with you here, Central Florida Weather Live, the show for this Friday, January the 24th. I hope you're doing well. I hope you were prepared for a very cold week that we had. It was unbelievably cold here in Central Florida, and that historic snowstorm. We'll talk about that a little bit more, get you prepared for the weekend ahead. Hope you're doing well on this Friday, friends. Hey, at least the sun is out right now. Central Florida Weather Live, of course, is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida. You can see their logo on the bottom of your screen. They are your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They cover the entire state. They protect yourself and your property. So let's say you live in the Panhandle, you got a burst pipe from some of the very cold weather that we've had, the freezing conditions. They can walk you through every step of the insurance claim process. They do offer free policy reviews and consultations. Go to leanonmelaw.com. Bobby and the team there to assist you guys for your legal needs. Great to see you guys. Let's kind of get into what's been happening here. First of all, an extremely historic, last couple of days across the area, right? Unbelievable snow. And I'm going to have some video to show you guys of that as well. And some really, really cold conditions, right? These are the temperatures right now. Look, it's very rare in Florida to get 3 days in a row here in Central Florida where your daytime highs don't go above 50 degrees. But that's exactly what we had the last 3 days as that snowstorm pulled up to our north. We were stuck in the cloud coverage and we were stuck with drizzle and heavy rain from time to time, the temperatures that didn't get out of the 40s in a lot of spots. At least today, the sun is back out and that's going to warm us up a little bit. Not crazy. And we're not going to get crazy warm outside. This is what it looks like on the visible satellite imagery at the hour. Again, still some clouds back down into Brevard County. We're back up to 55 in Palm Bay. But again, over the last couple of hours, we've been well into the 40s. We went from the 40s to the 50s here in Orlando, but still, look, it's going to be way below average again for this afternoon. And as always, you have a specific question about the forecast, please drop it in the comments section below as well. I'm happy to answer that. But the sun will at least be out, and this will eventually lead us to getting some warmer weather here. It's not going to really set in until next week, but there is some milder weather coming in. But, again, unbelievable cold the last several days with the clouds and the rain, and then obviously what happened in the Panhandle. If you guys weren't aware, Milton in the far western side of the Panhandle here near the Pensacola area, right here, they had 10 inches of snow with the snowstorm that pulled through. That more than doubled the all-time snowstorm total in Florida of 4 inches back in 1954. Guess what? Also in Milton. Despite the fact, and I got to tell you, I was shocked when I heard this, that Florida actually has snow plows, mainly stationed in the Panhandle. They still had to close over 200 miles of I-10 for a while because once you had that 10, 8, 6, 4 inches of snow in the central and the western Panhandle, it compacted down into a layer of ice, and temperatures were below freezing the last couple of days, especially, of course, during the overnight hours. And despite the fact that we actually had a little bit of equipment to help things, it was going to take a while. But everyone is beginning to moderate. That being said, we did have a freeze warning in some areas for this morning, and we have more freeze warnings to talk about for tonight in a lot of our area as well. Before we go too much farther, I've got to show you this video. Now, this was specifically sent to me from New Orleans. It was just when the snow started, right? So again, you're sitting here in the backyard in New Orleans, Louisiana, very close to coastal, the Gulf of Mexico, the Mississippi River, and the snow starts to fall. But if you guys saw the picture from my Facebook page, eventually they ended up getting a foot of snow in a lot of areas of New Orleans, especially what's called the Garden District of New Orleans. Some unbelievable snowfall totals there. I'm going to take 1 second here, and I'm going to get my name bar off of the screen. So bear with me here just 1 second. I'm just going to take that name bar down. We are going through a lot of hardware and software upgrades here at the station. As a matter of fact, I say the station here on the YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, this is a brand new camera that we're using. It is even shooting in higher resolution, and we can actually broadcast in higher resolution, which is now going to require me to probably put on a little bit of makeup. Now all the spots are going to start showing on my face again. But we're going through a lot of upgrades, but there's a lot of automation in what we do. And from time to time, settings have to be changed when you upgrade, and that name bar was just situated there, and it should go away, but we'll fix that, no big deal. So again, hey, the sun's back out. It's another chilly afternoon. I took a walk just before I did this, came on live with you guys, and it was beautiful, right? It was great to have the sun out, but when you caught the wind, it was still cold outside. It's still a very cold wind. These are the wind gusts at the hour. And look, most of us are still going to be dealing with 20 to 25 mile an hour winds. Up at Ocala, that's going to be a wind right now that's going to be out of the north. And all of these winds are going to be out of the north, okay? So this is still a biting wind. Now, eventually this afternoon and this evening, those winds are going to subside. Now that we have clear skies and lighter winds, now we're going to see more areas of frost and freeze. We saw some of that last night in our far northwest areas. It's going to be even more widespread for your Saturday morning. So for a lot of us, it's going to be time to start to prep and take care of those tender outdoor plants and vegetation. And if you live in those areas that are going to go below 32, you're going to want to drip those outside faucets as well, or at least insulate those pipes in some way. So we do have cold weather preps again for tonight into Saturday morning. We're going to start to see our temperatures moderate after that a bit as well. Let's take a look. I'll go back over to the enhanced satellite imagery here just to kind of show you the broad perspective. Now, the one thing that is going to be with us the next couple of days is dry conditions, right? So we're done at least with the rain. We're done with the gloomy weather. We're going to have sunshine return, but we're still going to have to fight some cold temperatures for tomorrow morning, and that has prompted some freeze warnings as well. But you can see that a good part of the United States is still dealing with some very cold conditions that are going to finally begin to moderate some. And I can tell you this, as we get deeper into the last part of January and into early February, milder weather is on the way. If this is too cold for you, and I know for a lot of folks it was, things will be changing up for us here in some short order. But let's talk about, first of all, the advisories that are in play right now. So I'm going to bring those up, and we'll take a look at those. And again, this is going to be, what's happening in our area. Let's, first of all, here, just looking at storm reports. I was just curious to see if we had any more. You can see that there are some snowstorm reports in the Northeast. And then we'll get into these advisories as well here in just a second. But the bottom line is it's going to get chilly again. You can see, by the way, your updated real-time temperatures and weather happening across most of Central Florida in the bottom of your screen. That's what's coming around. As you can see, there's a lot of different colors to talk about here in Central Florida and our northern areas as well. I'll actually start off with just mentioning, of course, that we still have a small craft advisory for the western coastline. This is both for nearshore and offshore waters. This is going to continue at least through the overnight hours, could linger through portions of Saturday as well. The bottom line is that we're still going to be seeing winds that are going to be gusting up to 30 knots. Seas will be building to 5 to 8 feet. So just keep that in mind. Small craft should exercise caution if you're going out into outside of the coastal waters. But you can see that there's a lot of blue, and then there's a lot of purple in this map. So we'll start off with the blue, and this is going to be your freeze watch, right? Now, why is there a freeze watch for northern areas compared to southern areas? Well, northern areas already had their freeze warnings, so this is kind of just an indication of what we would expect. But for places like Marion County, Alachua County, Putnam, and Flagler County, so our friends in Palm Coast and Bunnell and Ocala and Bellevue in the Gainesville areas, you guys under a freeze watch for tonight. And this is what it says. Sub-freezing temperatures as low as 22 degrees. I want to be clear, this could be a hard freeze in these areas, okay? Now, obviously, if you live along the coast like Palm Coast, you're not going to see as cold of conditions as what we're going to have inland, but this is frightfully cold weather for us here, right? And again, anything that you should do for your outside, including your pets, you need to be doing this, your cold weather preps for tonight. So you're covering your tender vegetation, you're covering your tropical plants, you're getting pets indoors, you're dripping pipes, you're insulating outdoor pipes as well that are exposed, especially, now I want to be clear, the 22 degrees isn't going to happen here. It's going to happen more in the southeast Georgia, but we'll talk about some morning lows coming up, and 27, 28 degrees in the northern sides of Central Florida tomorrow morning is not out of the question. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. And this freeze watch let's see the one here that actually looks like they're both the same. Sometimes they break them down by areas. Other times it's just kind of a broad brush. And that's what this one is going to be. So again, I don't expect it to get down to the low 20s, but the upper 20s are absolutely possible. But now we're going deeper into Central Florida. And by the way, just so we're clear, this freeze watch does include coastal areas of Volusia and Brevard counties, right? So there's an opportunity here that we could, excuse me, this is a rip current risk. It stops here. My apologies. About the same color. I was wondering why that was going to be the case. Inland areas, though, are under this freeze warning. And this is a lot more in the heart of Central Florida, okay? So you're talking about inland Volusia, all of Lake County, Sumter County, inland Citrus County, outside of the coastal areas west of US 19, but the Weather Service has included the coastal areas of both Pasco and Hernando counties as well. And look, portions of Seminole in Orange counties, even though you're not technically under the freeze warning, I would still be taking your cold weather preps. Sanford, Altamont Springs, Castleberry, Apopka, Mount Dora, northern and western areas especially, there's no doubt. I mean, look, if the southern sides of Lake County can freeze, I'm telling you the northwest sides of Orange County could freeze as well. This freeze warning goes in effect until tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at some of the information for you here. So for Southern Lake, could get as cold as 31 degrees, okay? For inland Volusia and northern Lake counties, it could get as low as 30. Again, frost and freeze conditions could kill crops, other sensitive vegetation, and possibly damage outdoor, unprotected outdoor plumbing. So 30 degrees inland Volusia and northern Lake counties, and then again, sub-freezing conditions for southern Lake County as well. That was that one. Let's see here. Click on Sumter County. So for Citrus, Hernando, coastal Levy, inland Hernando, inland Levy, inland Pasco, Sumter counties, as cold as 28 degrees. So you get the idea, you get into our northwest areas, and now you are going to get some upper 20s. The biggest issue is that the skies are going to be clear and the winds are going to be light. So first of all, there's going to be widespread thick frost, and that will encompass Metro Orlando, right? Elevated surfaces, roofs, your car windshields, the mailboxes, they're going to have a thick layer of frost. Right? Then the freeze comes into play as well. And if you do have a pool, a reminder that you're going to want to be running that overnight if there is a danger of a freeze. You know, a lot of these pools now have what they call freeze protect, where once the air temperature gets down to whatever you've told it to, and I would suggest making it no warmer than 37 degrees, something like that, so that you're certainly protecting your outdoor plumbing with the pool. You let it run anytime it hits 37 degrees or below. Again, some of that is automated in some of the newer systems, but you're going to want to protect all of that again for tonight. And look, even into the far northern sides of the Tampa Bay area, they could get close, right? They could get close. We could see conditions here drip down to 30, 31 degrees. It's not out of the question. It doesn't include Pinellas or Hillsborough counties, but you get the idea. Coastal Pasco as low as 32, so right at freezing. And again, looks like everyone else is going to be above that. So even coastal areas here, Pasco and Hernando counties, you know, down to 31, 32. So even places like Tarpon Springs and Palm Harbor and the northern sides of Tampa, outside of the, you know, true urban areas, have that opportunity. All right. And again, I would keep that in mind for Orange and Seminole counties as well. Now it's going to be dry. We're going to have some beautiful conditions over the next couple of days. Let's talk about the next chance for rain, and then we'll go over your 3-day forecast for all the cities. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring up the GFS here. And we'll loop this up for a few days. Now, I am tracking another storm system that'll be coming through the southern United States. It's going to take a while to develop. It does have the opportunity to bring us maybe some rain down the road. Okay, not expecting this to bring any showers over the next few days, but there is at least the opportunity here that we catch a couple of showers as we move into the mid portion of the week. There'll be a storm system developing in the southern plains, but this time, as we would typically expect, we're going to get some warmer weather. Hi, Garrett. How are you doing? Hanging in there today, man. We just got done with, more than likely, by the way, more than likely, can't tell you for sure, but I would say more than likely we just saw the coldest stretch of weather here in Central Florida for the winter months, right? It's not out of the question that we get another big plunge of colder air coming in. But look, typically speaking in Florida, we get a cold front coming in. It's cold one morning, maybe one afternoon, and then we moderate right back up. But we were stuck with the south winds that pulled in the moisture and left us with overcast skies and cold rain for 3 days in a row. I mean, it had been miserable outside. My kids were just, banging to get outside, but it was just like, look, guys, this is a little too chilly for that to happen. Now things will be getting back to normal. Temperatures getting back into the 70s starting early next week. This is the next storm system coming through. I'll be watching that one. We'll talk more about it on Monday's show with at least the opportunity to bring us a few showers. Now, generally speaking, it does look like the best chance for some heavier rain and a few storms will stay north of us through the Panhandle into Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia and the Carolinas. But that could throw at least the opportunity for a couple of showers our way. But again, temperatures are going to be a heck of a lot warmer compared to what they're going to be, what they have been and what they're going to be by tomorrow morning. When we look at the Storm Prediction Center, here, just to give you guys an idea. So for tomorrow, they're talking about a general chance for a few isolated showers and stronger storms in the eastern portions of Texas through Louisiana. And then as we look into Sunday, that comes a little bit farther east into portions of deeper into Louisiana. So again, there will more than likely be a few rumbles of thunder associated with this, but then past the third day, you don't see any other areas as it moves off towards the east. Okay, so let's get into the forecast here, and then we'll look at some individual temperatures as well. I'm going to skip that, move on. We'll start off with Lakeland over the next 3 days. First of all, even into Polk County, you guys should prepare for patchy frost tomorrow morning, right? 34, the morning low in Lakeland, but some outside areas of Polk County could at least briefly dip down to that magic 32-degree mark. It will continue to be sunny. I don't have any rain in the forecast the next 3 days. Should really be some beautiful weather, and starting Sunday, we will begin to moderate. Still a cold start to Sunday, 43, but we're up to 70 Sunday afternoon, and then an absolutely gorgeous kick off to the work week up to 73 for the daytime high. Well, Garrett, I hope the best for you guys there for sure. Hope you guys get that infrastructure back as fast as you can. Again, Garrett up in the mountains of North Carolina that were extremely impacted by Hurricane Helene, and a friend of the channel here. Appreciate you tuning back in, man. Let's go on over to Melbourne, our friends there along the East Coast. Again, chilly start to the morning, no freeze conditions, 41. That's a cold start. We'll get up to 64 tomorrow afternoon. There'll be a few clouds along the immediate eastern coastline Sunday and Monday, but no rain associated with it, and winds will begin to turn more out of the southeast and eventually south, and this will moderate the temperatures more and more late weekend, early next week. So 68 tomorrow, 70 on Monday, just an absolutely gorgeous day. Notice morning lows are going back up as well. In Daytona Beach, again, sunny, dry through Monday, still going to deal with some patchy frost. Now, there is going to be a big difference between areas east of I-95 in Volusia County and inland areas. 37, so nowhere near freezing in Daytona Beach, but you get inland Volusia County, and you got a freeze warning, and you're going to have to deal with some temperatures that will be near that freezing mark or below. Then it's still a cool afternoon. For either reason, head to the beaches on Sunday. 46 the morning low, 62 the daytime high, mostly sunny, pleasant, and 66 on our Monday afternoon. In Ocala, widespread freeze. Extremely heavy frost as well. It's going to be a cold, cold night. Again, cold weather preps should be taken. The action should be taken in Marion County. 28 is what I have for Ocala. Again, a couple of areas could even sneak down a degree or two colder. It's going to be a below freezing start and a fairly prolonged freeze. At least 6 hours, if not 8 hours in a couple of locations. 58. Despite the sunshine, it's a cool afternoon, 58 the daytime high. Still areas of frost on Sunday morning. We're not going to have a freeze in Marion County, Ocala, Bellevue area, Silver Springs, but it is going to get cold again, 36, 66 the daytime high on Sunday, and then it'll start to get warmer on Monday. Again, fair amount of sunshine, no threat for any rain, near 70 degrees on Monday. For Tampa, it's a cold start. Again, I've got Metro Tampa at 35, but as I've mentioned already, outlying northern areas could flirt with freezing. It's not going to be a prolonged freeze at all in the northern sides of Metro Tampa, but it gets close. Plenty of sunshine the next 3 days of the weekend. Should be gorgeous, 62. Look, 70, we'll tolerate that. Daytime highs this time of the year in Central Florida should be in the lower 70s. So we're getting right back to where we should be with plenty of sunshine, just moderating temperatures here. 70 on Sunday. And on Monday, we get up to 72. In Orlando, again, we're dealing with frost, but there will be some freeze potential in the northern areas of Orange County, especially into Seminole County. 35 for Metro Orlando. Cool, beautiful afternoon. Just a few fair weather clouds sneaking in. 61 the daytime high. Plenty of sunshine on Sunday at 44 to kick off the day. So still cold, probably no frost. 68 is the afternoon high, and then the warm-up continues on Monday as well. We'll get up to 72, but still, again, you're getting the kids back to school on Monday morning. Still jacket weather, at least to begin with, as we dip into the upper 40s. Okay, so let me take myself off camera again real quickly here. I want to go back over to our live radar system, and then I want to show you what the HRRR model is showing as far as temperatures go for the next couple of days. So let's go back over here. I'm going to bring up the HRRR. And first of all, since we already have the precip looped up, I'll just show you that real fast as well. Then we'll get into temperatures. You can see on the HRRR, by the way, that there might be a few showers for the Bahamas as this front has kind of stalled a bit and moving off towards the south, but there's drier air coming in, and I don't expect there to be any rain associated with it. So everything kind of just pushes offshore, so you get that idea. Let's take a look at the temperatures here. And again, this is just from the model. I already showed you basically my forecast, right? But let's, first of all, let's stop this loop. There we go. Let me go to the model timeline here. And then let's go to tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So this is from the HRRR model, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., right? So we can talk about even some other areas that we didn't look at in the 5-day forecast. This is important tomorrow morning because of the freeze potential, okay? Oh, I've got 7 p.m. That would make a big difference, wouldn't it, Rusty? There we go. Saw the 40s there and it freaked me out. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So we're looking at the HRRR model, okay? You can see the temperature below freezing here. It's a little bit warmer on the HRRR. Maybe I should back it up to 6 o'clock. It can make a difference. Slightly, but again, with sunrise being a little bit earlier, it's about the same. So again, the HRRR is slightly warmer here, but still below freezing. You can also see, though, that it has, pockets of, again, Lake County. I don't expect this to be a prolonged freeze in Lake County, but you get the idea. Boy, there's just a lot of flirting of 32 on the HRRR model. Same thing for Crystal River, Homestead, Inverness. This is why a couple degrees can make a big difference, but we're going to be so close to 32 or below in these areas that, again, all the cold weather preps should be taken here. So there's Holiday and Bayonet Point, and Land O'Lakes, and Pasco County. And again, even towards Palm Harbor and Clearwater, we're flirting with it. Northern sides of Metro Tampa, Carrollwood and Citrus Park, and Temple Terrace and Town and Country, we're flirting with near freezing here. Downtown Tampa, I mean, the HRRR actually has it slightly cooler than I had. At 35, they have it basically at 33. Seffner, Brandon, you get into some rural areas here, and then you get back into, far eastern Hillsborough towards Plant City, and there's Lakeland. The HRRR just doesn't have a big distinction right now with temperatures. We're all really close to freezing, aren't we? And of course, there's Lake Apopka, which interesting is that on the south side of Lake Apopka, I think this is picked up on it well. You're going to probably get some warmer weather here compared to north. This is a great, by the way, shows you how well that these models handle this. We're going to have a bit of a north breeze on the northern side of Lake Apopka, right? We're going to be near freezing. On the southern shore of Lake Apopka for the Winter Garden area, Oakland area, the wind is going to be pushing in the relatively warmer waters across these cities, and you can see how temperatures here might actually stay well above freezing because of that. Now you get a little bit farther south from the influence of Lake Apopka, which is a very large body of water, by the way, and you can clearly see that it gets colder again here. But great indication of the model picking up on things there. Same thing over the St. John's. Sanford, again, hopefully staying above freezing. Lake Mary gets close. There's Deltona, 34. Same thing for DeBerry. And it's absolutely possible this is slightly too warm. But the bottom line is, and the reason why I wanted to show you this is, it's close enough where we have to really consider taking the cold weather preps in all of these locations. Again, if you're just tuning in one more time, We have a freeze watch or freeze warning for a good part of our northern and central areas. We've already had a freeze in these spots, but temperatures here could dip into the upper 20s. But my biggest concern right now is for areas that haven't had the first freeze of the season, and that's going to be for portions of Citrus, Hernando Pasco, Sumter, Lake, inland Volusia counties. But I'm also going to be including portions of more rural areas of Seminole and Orange counties near the metro Orlando area, especially the north and the western sides of both Seminole and Orange County. So look, places like Lake Mary, places like Apopka, Wekiva Springs, Mount Dora areas there, even into, of course, to Lake County, Altamont Springs, close, right? Maybe Winter Springs, but again, up here in the Sanford area, Oviedo will probably be okay. But if you live anywhere on the northwest side, here towards I-4, on the western sides of Sanford, you guys are close enough into the action to see the opportunity. Good afternoon, Blue Goose. Great to see you from St. Augustine. Slightly less cold than yesterday. I hear you, man. And look, a lot of that is going to be, guys, from the sheer fact that we actually have some sunshine for today, right? That's a big difference. These are your current temperatures on the board right now. Bring back up the time frame. And again, it's going to be a cool day. We're not going to be getting out of the 50s in most spots, all right? But at least we have the opportunity, right, to enjoy some nicer weather here with a little bit more sunshine in effect as well. So, temperatures are trying to warm up a bit. 52 at a couple of spots. St. Augustine still in at 48 right now. It shows you how chilly it actually is in a couple of these locations. And again, it's not warming up much here across most of the southeast, but eventually the sunshine will do some good. And I'm telling you right now, starting next week, we're back into the 70s. So you've been looking for that nice weather. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to take its time, but it's coming out there as well. Let's bring back on our satellite here. And again, this is our infrared satellite imagery. And you can see those are thinning out. And here's the visible satellite imagery as well. We kind of got this nice little pocket of sunshine returning. If you do live in our northern areas, you could get a little bit more cloud coverage kind of skirting back in. But relatively speaking, the air is drying out. If I show you the water vapor imagery, right? Red on this is dry air, green is moisture-laden air. There is still some mid-level moisture that has to be thinned out first, but it's going to happen. We could still get some cloud coverage today because of that moisture coming into the northwest areas, but by tonight, I do expect the clear skies and again, the lighter winds. And that's why we're going to have more widespread frost and more widespread freeze. Friends, thank you so much for joining me again for CFLW, the show on this Friday. Great to see you guys. If you haven't as of yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button for me right now. Drop a comment like Garrett and Blue Goose and Ed did. It really helps support the channel. The more you guys like the live streams, if you watch, even if you're watching the recorded version, and the more you comment, even if you're watching the recorded version, helps the interaction of the channel, and YouTube's algorithm will then actually recommend the channel to others who don't even know we exist. You can also share this channel with your family and friends as well. That will also help to support the channel. But those are very, very simple ways to do things. And again, if you have a specific question about the forecast, even if you're not watching the live version here, you're watching the recorded version under the live tab of the CFLW YouTube channel, feel free to ask a question. I always go back and check the comments, and we're happy to answer those for you guys as well. Thank you very much, Garrett. I appreciate you doing that. Again, the loyal supporters of CFLW is going to help the channel grow, and we're looking forward to doing that and to bringing you guys a lot of exciting things as we go ahead. Again, these shows are designed to give you guys more coverage on a more continuous basis. So I jump on Monday, we talk about the work week ahead. I jump on today, we talk about today and in the weekend. And of course, I'm always live when there's impactful weather in Central Florida as well. Thanks a lot, Blue Goose. One other big supporter of the channel is our exclusive sponsor for the first half of 2025, and that's the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida. You see their logo on the bottom of your screen. They are your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They cover the entire state, so it doesn't matter where you're viewing from. If you're in Florida, they can help you out. Homeowners, condo owners, associations, anything that could damage property or yourself. So we're talking about hail, hurricanes, busted pipes, wind damage, car accidents. They can walk you through the insurance claim process. They do offer free consultation policy reviews. If the situation ever arises, please reach out to Bobby Lean and the team there at leanonmelaw.com. All the information there is at the website. And again, we really appreciate them and welcome on board as the exclusive sponsor of CFLW for the first half of 2025. Friends, I'll wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much again for liking and subscribing to the channel. Please have a great weekend. Please prepare for, again, very cold weather Saturday morning. A lot of spots from Metro Orlando north and west will go deep below freezing for several hours. Please take the cold weather preps. Please drip the pipes. Please insulate the pipes. Please bring the pets inside. Please cover that tender vegetation. Everything that you would do on one of the colder nights. That's exactly what we're going to see. When I see you on Monday, we'll be talking about a lot milder weather and then tracking our next chance for showers. Friends, you have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday right here on CFLW.